Hi, I'm Melinda Van Fleet, and welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I'm an author, speaker, and success coach who helps women believe in themselves, build confidence, and take action. In 2009, my husband Ryan and I were laid off at the same time, and we moved to the Florida Keys without jobs, not knowing anyone, hardly any money, and we never even been here. But we made it. And now, not every day is sunshine and rainbows, but we're living our best lives. All along in our journey, I've always said that someday when we get our shit together, we will help others. So each week, my intent is to be relatable and bring you tactical tips, tools, share my learnings and stories that can help inspire or transform you wherever you are in your career or general life and make an impact. I strongly believe that if I can do it, you can do it too. So what's stopping you? Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Good Karma Success Coach podcast. And I am so excited. I have a very special guest with me today. Her name is Beth Engerson, and she does lip print readings. And the name of her company is Kiss-Marks. And if you've been following me on Facebook or Instagram, or you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, you might have seen the video that Beth and I did together a few weeks ago. And I thought it would be super fun to have her on the podcast as well, just to kind of recap and then share anything we might have missed. And especially with the holidays coming and New Year's, like this is just such a fun idea for parties. So I'm going to hand it over to Beth. Welcome, Beth.
Thank you, Melinda. It's great to be here. It's like, I'm super excited. So the company is Kiss-Marks, and I've been a certified lipsologist for about the last 5 to 6 years. I'm one of only 9 in the entire world. So it's like so incredible to be in a small community. And I love it. The way that I got into lipsology, lip print reading, was through a friend of a friend. And she was my teacher. Her name is Ariana Lightning Storm. And today she continues to be my mentor. And the way that I got into it was that I had met her and thought, these lip prints are really cool in the readings. Never really heard anything about it before that. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. Left it alone, saw her like a couple of months later, and she had the lip print of a woman that was involved in breast cancer research or fundraising. I'm not sure which, but within the lip print, you could actually see the breast cancer awareness ribbon. And at that point, I was like, I have to know more about this. And a month or two later, I started studying with Ariana. Took me about 6 months. It's a system that was developed by Jilly Eddy, and she based it on over 10,000 lip prints that she collected. And the way that she had gotten started in it was that she had a coffee table book of famous people's lip prints. And so one of the lip prints in the book was a lip print that was done by Mick Jagger. And so as a joke, her brother had put his lip prints on a Post-it note right next to Mick Jagger's. And she's like, I wonder if there's any correlation. And so she had owned a limousine company called Lips Limousine. And so as part of people's tips to her, she had collected a lot of lip prints and was able to kind of put together the foundations for Lipsology. And
It's amazing.
She has based it on, I'm so sorry about the car. She has based it on 25 categories and 125 subcategories. So it was learning all of these different things based on size, shape, thickness of the upper and lower lip print, lines, like the shading of the lip prints themselves, where they are on the paper, and they all have meaning.
Wow. And how long did it take you to get certified?
It took me about 6 months to complete.
Wow. And can you share for everyone what your, I'm going to just say it like this, day job is? Because this isn't like a fly-by-night idea that you decided to do this as your business too. Like you're actually like really, really, really smart woman. This like amazing correlation.
Thank you, Melinda. Yes, during the day, I am a virtual therapist.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty amazing. And I remember when you said to me about studying for your Lipsology certification. Do you remember what you said?
Yes, I said that it was almost more work than getting my graduate degree in rehabilitation counseling.
I loved that because when you started telling me about the, like the categories and the subcategories, my mind was blown. I was like, wow. Because when you gave me your reading, like, it's not like you were referring to a handbook, like you knew and you did it on the spot. So yeah, kudos. That's a lot. It's amazing.
Thank you. I think, it's like anything else, you have muscle memory. And so like the ideas just kind of get ingrained in your mind, like, oh, this is this, and, so you kind of recognize the different things without like really thinking about it after a while.
So it becomes more second nature in a way, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah. And then, it's not like, so it's about 85% accurate. But there are times when, it's kind of like a Rorschach and you're kind of interpreting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And if anyone out there is still kind of like mind blown by all of this, think of it like a palm reading. That's probably the best comparison, would you say?
Mm-hmm. Sorry to interrupt you. The best comparison is the study of handwriting.
Oh, the study of handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There's, with the handwriting, it tells so much about the person's personality, and it's more scientific based than palm reading is.
Okay. I didn't even think of that, but that's a really, yeah, you're right. And I haven't heard of anyone doing a hand reading analysis in a very long time. So that's really fascinating, actually. Wow.
Hold on one second. My husband is trying to chime in here.
Oh, okay. Before we hear what Beth's husband has to say, I wanted to jump on and share about something really, really cool that manifested for me. And if you follow me, you know I love to talk about how things work out when you put it out there to the universe and see what happens. And that is my discovery of Ana Luisa jewelry. Yes, Ana Luisa jewelry, spelled ANA Luisa. It is sustainable jewelry that price points start at $39. And I have to tell you, I am in love. If you follow me and if you read my book, Life and Love Lessons, you know that my wedding bands don't fit anymore. So that was part of the whole process is I needed a new ring. And so their Wander ring is freaking amazing. It's so comfortable. It's been holding up through my aerial yoga. How many times I wash my hands all day long because I have 3 little dogs. and I just love it. Some other pieces that I'm totally in love with is the Elise pendant and the matching earrings, and I am just over the moon excited. So I wanted to jump on and share about this amazing, sustainable jewelry line with you. It is perfect for gift giving with the holiday season coming around, or if you're like me and you like to give some gifts to yourself, well, I would highly recommend that as well. So again, Ana Louisa Jewelry, ANALUISA, and I will put my special link, analuisa.com/Melinda, in the show notes, and definitely click on it because they have sales and specials all the time. And again, I can't even believe how amazing this is. Oh, and definitely continue to check out the link because every Friday they have new releases. So again, Ana Louisa Jewelry, prices start at $39, is perfect for any gift giving, and each piece comes in a special little beauty bag. So check it out.
He's telling me to say that the lip print reading doesn't predict the future, which is actually really important as well.
Okay. But what's fascinating, and I'm not going to share too much about it because I want people to watch the video too, but remember towards the end when you told me something and I was blown away because I said my husband and I had just talked about that in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So there is kind of a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that works out, right? Only time will tell. But you told me to ask for something. So yeah, that was a little bit more of a futuristic point of view than the other things that you gave me as characteristics. So I wouldn't put that out there to somebody that's interested as an expectation at all, but it's fascinating what came through is my point, right?
Absolutely. And we'll leave that for a little while, I guess, or for the video.
Yeah. So, so people can go back and watch the YouTube and then you'll see where my mind is like blown. But I love, I did go back and watch the video before our podcast today because it's been a couple of weeks. So I wanted to refresh my memory. And some of the character traits that you pulled through that I thought were really, really spot on, and pretty much everything was spot on. I would say some things have been an evolution. So I find that to be kind of interesting too.
Really? Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So, well, let me go back. Well, that one for sure was holding back and not caring. There was like a point where you talked about that. And I said, well, I'm getting stronger at not caring. So you were saying, that one of my characteristics is like holding back. And I said, well, actually, I've really been working on not being like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting because you can go against your nature. That's all, learning and developing and becoming more well-rounded.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the incredible thing about lip print reading is that it can change. I think one of the biggest examples for me was that I was did a 3-day event for the opening of a major department store in Manhattan. And so one woman had come Friday evening. She lived in the neighborhood and had come Friday evening for a reading. And then she came like late Saturday afternoon, like just as I was getting ready to leave. And so some of the characteristics within the print were the same. And then some were actually quite different from the night before to the next day. And I thought that was just totally fascinating. And I had heard, from the training that the lip print does change. And there I saw it on paper and was just amazed by it.
Wow. And what's the theory behind that? What would you say?
So it's, there was differences between the night before and the next day. Like the woman had been working all day on Friday, and you could tell like her energy level was low. And then when she came in on Saturday, she had been walking around the neighborhood. She actually brought her dog. So the energy level was a lot more intense.
Oh, wow. Wow. Or just different, because that is two different ways of being. Is, obviously your hustle work mode, or a more fun mode if you're walking around enjoying the day with your dog. So that's really cool. Have you ever had anyone that came back like a year or so later? Like, because you've been doing this for a long time. So have you had anyone come back like a good amount of time later and see if there's
so I've actually done like a couple of readings for one of my friends, and you could actually kind of, I didn't have them in front of me, but I could kind of remember what they were like. And I think they were about a year apart or so. And you could definitely see differences in the lift prints over that amount of time.
Wow. Gosh, I would never even think of something like this. It's really amazing. And it's really amazing even how the founder, how it came to be. It's really kind of wild. Wow. Well, some of the things that you said about me was that I was consistent, which is very true. I've always been that way. Energetic, a good listener, mother hen. And that's actually something I'm working on being less of that, less of that mothering. I am trying, and it's interesting because it probably shows up because my husband and I own a business together, which is an extremely challenging business model. So there's just a lot that goes on. So we end up having lots of conversations, and I think that mothering side comes out. And I even wrote about that in my first book, Confidence Mastery for Couples, that I'm kind of like a mama bear. So that comes out. Organized, and yes, and I'm very organized in my brain, and I'm partially organized around the house. So I wish I had more time to be organized around the house. And the one thing that was super funny was when you called me the Energizer Bunny. Remember that?
Yes, absolutely.
And that's been something that I have had to embrace. And I talk about it in the video because I embody human design and I use it in my coaching. So it's just part of me. I'm a generator. I'm a human design pure generator. And so I used to get triggered when people would call me the Energizer Bunny or make comments about my energy level. And I actually wrote about that in my second book. So I've come to embrace that more. So it actually made me laugh. And then I wrote an article about it on Medium.
And the funny part was that you had a conversation with a mutual friend of ours, Deborah Lupien, like a day, either earlier that day or the day before, about you being an Energizer Bunny. And I thought that was just hilarious.
Yes. And I was going to say how we originally got connected. So thank you for bringing up Deborah's name. I appreciate that. She's amazing. So yes, so it was really funny. I was like, okay, universe, I get the hint. I'm it. I got to own it. So if I'm too much for you, then that's just how life is, right? Move on. So that was really, really funny. And then you had brought up like comfort food and being stressed. And I had just kind of gone through a time, because my husband and I have been struggling with some mechanical issues in our business for the last few months. So yeah, it's brought about a lot of stress and some eating of some, buttered noodles and cheese hot dogs once I felt like it. So yeah, so it was really, really great. And I wrote down too, good listener. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but a good listener. And I do always pride myself on being a good listener. I believe it's really important, an important part of being a really good coach. So yeah, so I loved it. I mean, when I went back through and listened to the video, I was like, yep, all spot on still. So
that's awesome. I'm really happy that it was as accurate as it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you did an amazing job. It just, again, like I had never heard of anyone being a certified lipsologist. And obviously, as you said, you're one of 9 in the world. So I just thought, gosh, it'd be such a cool thing to share with other people because I love sharing unique modalities or systems or assessments so people can have, some aha moments and learn more about themselves, the good and the bad. And it's funny because my husband and I were talking about how you might think that a trait you have is bad, but there's always good in the trait too, right? So it's a very
Absolutely.
dance.
It's always a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be a strength in some situations and a barrier to in others.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really learning to embrace that and be okay and do your best, every day, you just do your best. So, and you have had one too, I assume, right? Who gave you
Yes.
reading?
So it's a funny story about that too. So my teacher, now my mentor, had done a lip print reading for me, and it was like maybe like a week or 2 after I had gotten engaged. And so she's like, "Oh, go take it home to Scott and let's like take a look at it." So I took mine home. He kissed the card on the same card, and I sent her a picture of it. And we hadn't like put whose lip print was whose, and they were really, really similar.
Wow. That's so cool. I wonder what rhymes would
Yep.
look like. Yeah. Huh. That's really neat. And have you done it again since to see if yours has changed?
Actually, it's been a while since I've done it. I think the last time that I looked at my lip print was probably about a year or 2 ago.
Ooh, I see a date night in your future. Tell Scott to pucker up.
It's funny, I guess, I think about it like, well, I know myself really well, so
Yeah, you don't really think, but yeah, it's just fascinating since you have this skill set. That's really cool. Wow. Now, how do you work with parties? And if someone wants to contact you, like give some scoop, because obviously you live in New York. So how can someone work remotely similar to what we do together?
So I do both in-person, individual readings, parties, corporate events, and with the upcoming holidays, it's a great idea for a really unique experience, and people can get in touch with me at beth.kissmarks@gmail.com or through my website, which is www.kiss-marks.com.
Perfect. And I will put that all in the show notes because I can just see, especially, and I'm not trying to leave out any men because obviously they can do this too, but wouldn't it be great if you're like a women-run business and you are like, I just need a fun holiday party, like kind of just a bonding icebreaker type party. Like it would be so fun to have you as a special guest and do lip print readings for the whole team. I think it's a really cool idea.
Oh yeah. I love that it's a great like icebreaker if people are just meeting, and they really get to know each other. So it's a great bonding experience. Absolutely.
Yeah. In conversation. Yeah. That's really cool. That's so awesome. I love it. I loved my experience. I love that I've gotten to know you. You are just amazing. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience today?
I just want to say thank you for your time and inviting me on. It's just great to be able to talk about it. I always enjoy being able to spread the word about lipsology, lip print reading, because it is such a unique experience.
Yeah, it's very cool. Well, I really appreciate you. I appreciate your time and your skill. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for your time.